to call you. Check.
Line's been disconnected. Where'd you go? And what the hell did I expect? Staring at your empty bedroom, counting my regrets. All those days we spent pretending it was love. You could always use some other fool. Go and find yourself another muse.
All right.
Don't need your medication. I'm a
Goddamn superstar.
Don't need your medication. I don't
All right, we're up on Insta. We're up on Twitch. We're up on Patreon. YouTube. Got Substack. Rumble's still ridiculous, but we're there, I think. Is Facebook being a jerk again?
We could have stayed there, but we packed our
Oh, yeah.
bags and
Okay.
left. We play it back, but we're not satisfied with less. I don't know what you think this is, but it's not some sort of test. We already did our best.
Okay.
And now it's
Facebook should be up in about
gone.
30 seconds.
I'm not a sacrifice to hold on to.
All right.
Oh, you're a mirror, and I've seen you through and through. Don't need your medication.
All right.
I'm a goddamn superstar. Don't need your medication. I don't need you.
All right. Let's go. What's happening? Mic's on. I always got to check, man. I need to get in the new setup, I need a light above my little camera here that lets me, you know what I mean? A little boop. That wouldn't hurt, right? If the red light's on, you can't hear me. If it's green, light is green, shoom, trap is clean. Goes to stored in our homemade storage facility. All right. So, Trump was up apparently getting his colon rotated at Camp David today. So for the second time, he's gone to a place he can't stand. And I think part of it is like he can't sleep during the construction. So that's why they're taking him up to Camp David, because he can't keep going down to Mar-a-Lago because it becomes abundantly clear he's not doing any work. What's happening? Tell me where you are, what do you do for a living. Hit the like, by the way. Help us out in the algorithm. Annoy the maggot in your life. Come on. Tell us about the Twinkie. This Twinkie represents the normal amount of psychic energy in the tri-state area. According to today's readings, it would be a Twinkie 16 feet wide and weighing over 600 pounds. That's some Twinkie. St. Louis, there you go. I'm sorry I started a little bit late. I'm overwhelmed by the honeydew list right now. Yeah. What up? What happened? None of your beeswax. All right, Katie, you don't have to tell us. You're obviously in some sort of bunker, and I can't fault you for that. Hit the like, share the show. Hit it. Come on. Do this. Just give me the like. Got a lot of comments. I don't know why it's not showing me that little likey thing on here. The comments and reaction thing is very strange sometimes on there. But I trust that it's happening. Trump is in Camp David. Out of these two guys repeating the same crap that we've heard so many, like they've written it down for him. That's how bad it's gotten. It's the same stuff. Now, I think at some point he starts taking questions or something.
Rip out DEI.
Okay, yeah, okay. They're all doing it. They're little kiss-ass cabinet shit.
Family's administration.
Yeah, there's Besant. And then I think at some point he goes to like.
They don't have any capability. They have some, but very little. We just want to win. We don't want to have them. It's very simple. They
could not have a nuclear weapon.
cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, they didn't have one. They don't have one now. You apparently obliterated it last year. I don't know why we're still in there for fucking. We're entering in 6 months now.
Iran will not have a nuclear weapon, and they can't have a nuclear weapon. If they did.
Sorry, did I just fill up with water?
Nuclear weapon. Iran will not have a nuclear weapon, and they can't have a nuclear weapon. If they did, the Middle East would have been wiped out by now.
Please tell me they have not mic'd his chair, because that the very notion is terrifying. Oh no, I'm worried. I'm worried they've mic'd his chair.
And stop the JCPOA, the Obama deal. If I didn't terminate that, they would have had a nuclear weapon. I believe Israel would no longer be with us, and big parts of the Middle East, and perhaps other countries.
Okay. It wasn't the termination of the agreement that supposedly stopped this. It was the bombing last year. Because obviously tearing up a deal to not have a nuclear weapon or not make a nuclear weapon years ago isn't the thing that stopped it in any way or slowed the process down.
Continents, frankly, because these people are crazy.
Sorry, what? Wait, hold on. They would have destroyed Israel and other continents?
They would have had a nuclear weapon. I believe Israel would no longer be with us, and big parts of the Middle East, and perhaps other countries in different continents, frankly.
They blow up Australia.
Because these people are crazy. So they can't.
One nuclear weapon, as soon as they have it, day one, ba-boom. They're gonna blow everything. They're gonna separate. It's a new continental divide, ladies and gentlemen.
And they won't.
Mr. President, Mr. President.
Expect over the next 4 weeks, 8 weeks, we'll be hitting them very hard. And at some point they're going to say we just can't take it anymore.
Based on what? You're not hitting them hard now? Why aren't they saying it already?
President, on the disarmament deal that you announced, do you have assurances from Israel that they are on board with this deal? And what comes first? Does Israel pull back and then Hamas disarm?
Oh, this is the thing. Okay, there's a ton of this shit. Hamas has not agreed to this yet. I don't know what the fucking, like, who they're, again, it's Iran all over again. Who are you negotiating with? And if those people take whatever message or agreement you've come up with back to the people who are kind of running things, are they going to have their brains blown out?
To disarm, and then Israel leaves.
So we do have an understanding with Israel. Israel is very happy about it. Israel helped us with it.
Why wouldn't we? Wait, that's not the party you have to bring in on this. The buy-in has to be from the Palestinians and Hamas.
And they've been very good. They've been very good about it. Most people said,
what are you talking about?
That would be a deal that would be undoable. Now, will it go through its ups and downs? It's a very complex situation over there. The people are very complex.
It's not complex. This is a conversation that Kushner and Witkoff had with the Israelis about, like, hey, if they do that, will you do this? Yeah, that's what the agreement said last year. They're not doing it, so we're going to keep doing what we're doing because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, so we'll keep doing it. You can get them to do what you said they would do, and then we'll stop doing what we're doing, but until they stop doing what they're doing, we're not going to stop doing what we're doing. Okay, what a... This is ridiculous.
Difficult, many cases wonderful, in many cases not so wonderful.
Oh my God. So we've got spa and not spa, worker and not worker, soldier and not soldier, and wonderful and not wonderful.
It's a great breakthrough. Nobody thought that would be possible, to disarm Hamas. That shows you how much
right. They have not agreed to it.
Success we're having with Iran, because if you go 4 months ago, 5 months ago, a deal like that would have been impossible. So it's a big step for the Middle East, and people are really impressed by it, and they're surprised by it.
And what comes first, Mr. President? What comes first?
Did Mr. Infantino speak to you about their proposal to sell a stake in the World Cup, and is that something you support? Having just
about who?
Did FIFA or Mr. Infantino speak to you about their proposal to sell a stake in the World Cup?
Mr. President, you said this morning on Truth Social that victims of government abuse should be paid back.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the anti-weaponization fund, would you still want the acting attorney general?
Well, I'm
to
talking about
do
the
that?
weaponization against large numbers of people in our country by the Biden administration and by
Didn't happen. Bullshit. Nonsense. And he means him. To all the Jan Sixers who think he's fighting for them, he means him. Does anybody think like the lion's share of that $1.6 billion slush fund wasn't going to go into his fucking pocket? Are you insane? You think they were going to divide it up like some sort of big, I don't know, buffet of cash that they could run out some class action lawsuit where everybody gets an even stake? It's absurd. He was going to keep 1.5 of it and send a $1,776 check to all of them.
Obama, but by the Biden administration in particular in this case.
Sorry, Obama attacked the Jan Sixers?
But large numbers of people, their lives have been ruined. They've been destroyed.
Maybe they shouldn't have filmed themselves beating cops.
Their families have been, decimated. They've gone to prison for no reason whatsoever.
Really? So their lawyers just didn't fight back. There was no evidence shown. They didn't go through the whole thing. They were just sent no reason whatsoever. Completely innocent. Just thousands of miscarriages of justice because the judge didn't like the look of their face.
There's never been a group of people, most likely, I can think of a couple that were treated pretty badly, groups, but there's essentially
Who? The Branch Davidians and the Jonestown people?
never been a group of people treated so badly as these people. And this fund was not for me. This fund was for those people that have been weaponized, that have been abused.
They've been weaponized?
I was abused. They attacked my house, Mar-a-Lago, where I live. And I was, big damages should have been given to me.
Big damages should have been given to me. Like, given or done? I don't
want
know.
anything. I'm not talking about myself.
No.
I think that there's a group of people in this country, history will show, that were treated like nobody else has ever been treated.
Yeah. Not the Holocaust. Not the fucking Armenians. Not the raids in Haiti. Like, good fucking God. Yeah. Fucking slavery. Oh, the poor Jan Sixers. Because they Facebooked their attack on the Capitol. It's them and Anne fucking Frank.
Badly, so horribly. Their families have been ruined. Many, many suicides. They've committed suicide.
Why? Why? Why'd they commit suicide? For real? How many of them? What's the statistical average on the Jan Sixers? 20%? 8%? Many? Wasn't related to anything else going on in their lives that might have been equally shitty? The domestic violence they were accused of and convicted of, the child sex trafficking they were engaged in.
People that were very successful that wanted to go to a rally or an event and ended up spending the rest of their lives in horror.
In horror. That was the rest of their lives? First of all, nobody who just went to the rally had a problem. Not a one. If you went to the rally on Jan 6 and you went the fuck home, nobody kicked your goddamn door in. What are you talking about? Lahara. I swallowed a bug.
I mean, you can say what you want about the fund, and they've agreed to not have a fund, but there are a lot of people that are very upset about it. A lot of Republican people, a lot of Democrat people are very upset.
What? What are you talking about? Look at Rubio's got a straight up just shoot me look on his face, and I'm fairly certain Keg Breath is smelling something. He's like, that's a human smell from someplace. That's not good.
about it.
No, Democrats aren't very upset about it, and rank and file Republicans aren't upset. They all think it's fucking insane.
A lot of people were covered. I wasn't covered by that fund. I don't want to be covered by the fund. I probably was abused more than anybody in the history of our country.
But if the fund went through, guess who'd have his fucking fingers in it?
I wasn't looking for that. But there were a lot of people. And I'll tell you something. Todd Blanche is a very, very good man. And he shouldn't be in the middle of this. He should get approved because you will never get anybody like him. You're never going to get anybody.
Well, that's what we're trying to avoid. We don't want anybody like him.
And to make him a pawn in this whole thing, this is...
Yeah, that's what this is about. Hey, asshole. That's a minor bit of corruption compared to the rest of the shit he's involved in. Epstein alone is the primary reason why he's being rejected.
Done by a senator, and I don't really blame him, to be honest with you. I endorsed his opponent, and as soon as I endorsed his opponent went through the roof, and he won the primary election in Texas for his Senate. And the man that lost, the man that I didn't endorse, has become very angry, and that's okay. I mean, I understand that. I probably would do the same thing. You want to know the truth? I think I do the same thing.
Mr. President, on that though,
Of course you would. You're a vindictive dickhead who is projecting onto him.
do you agree, just to be clear, do you agree with the acting attorney general that the anti-weaponization fund is dead? And why not just put that in
Well, it
writing?
is dead, but, I wish it weren't, to be honest with you. I think people were horribly treated, horribly abused.
Horribly. Horror.
This has nothing to do with Todd. This was me. Horribly abused. And I'd like to see them compensated for the pain. They lost their families. They committed suicide. Many people committed suicide. They went down for an innocent journey. And I'm not only talking there, I'm talking about not even having to...
An innocent journey that just entailed them, like, chipping a cop's spine by joining in a group of people, slamming them into, like, slamming a door up against them for... Yeah.
The way they were treated. The Biden administration and the Obama administration.
What? Wait. Hold the fucking phone. Whose gripe are we going back and cleaning up in the Obama administration? What are you talking about? Like, this has gotta be just a brain fart. Like, look at Hegseth. He's like, Obama, what's he,
Organized government and destroyed lives.
So it's not Jan 6er. So you're talking about who? Like, we're going to compensate some of the Russian spies that got kicked out of the country now?
Are you willing to accept limits on the scope of the audit immunity deal in order to get Attorney General Blanche confirmed?
Well, no, he should be approved forthwith. I mean, you're never going to get a person like that. Everybody agrees to it.
No, they don't. He's got no fucking qualifications. He's just your personal lawyer.
Don't forget, Senator Cornyn thought he was phenomenal until he lost.
Gibberish.
When he lost, is that a correct statement? You come from Texas. I mean, he thought this was the most incredible person. And when he lost because of me. I endorsed somebody else. And as soon as I endorsed the other person.
Well, I guess you fucked up then, didn't you? You could have had your guy, but you decided to go against your own senator, a sitting senator, and very possibly toss a Texas Senate seat to a Democrat for the first time in decades. And he would have voted for Blanche?
It became a rocket ship upward. And
No. Paxton is not a rocket ship upward. I guess you have to... Rocket ship. All right, we'll just leave that there for a second. But I guess with Musk's bad landing a couple of days ago, he has to say upward. It's important.
And, I think I'd be the same.
But would you accept
I mean, I shouldn't say that, but I'd be upset also. And so I fully understand it. He shouldn't be that way. I shouldn't be that way. But he is that way. He's become a very angry person. And
So you're a very angry
I
person?
understand. You have a couple of others that I've caused their defeat to, and you'll probably hear from them too. Yeah.
Mr. President, back on Iran, there's a report that you got a proposal from the military to go big and hit them hard over 10 or 14 days.
Well, we're going big.
Are you going to consider?
We've already gone big. Look, I mean, what's big? They had 100
Yeah, what is big? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, what's big? You know, it's all big if you think about it. Even the small stuff is big. As a matter of fact, the smaller things get, the bigger they are. But enough about his conversations with Stormy Daniels.
ships. That was their entire Navy, 159.
Hey, asshole, nobody, you don't get points for going after the fucking Iranian Navy. There wasn't like the legend of the Iranian Navy. Holy hell. Most of them are fucking tugboats.
Navy is laying at the bottom of the sea. I'd say that's going big. They had 200 airplanes. They're all gone. Every
No, they're not.
one of them. They're not one
They're gone to Pakistan.
airplane. They had anti-aircraft weaponry, very good, but it didn't work. And it's
They did hit one of our planes, and we had to retrieve our pilots.
all gone. Their radar is all gone. Their leaders are all gone.
Then who ya? What?
Everything's all gone.
Everything's all gone. Then who are you talking to, and why isn't there a new government taking shape? What are you talking about? And also, everything's all gone. Yes, a lot of schoolgirls are gone.
Gone. Their radar is all gone. Their leaders are all gone. Everything's all gone. But they'll fight onward.
Everything's all gone, but they'll fight onward. Onward.
President, on Ukraine, you said the other day that you're not sure about whether to grant Ukraine the Patriot missile license that had been discussed. Do you want to see more from Zelensky before you take that action?
Well, it's a big step. Look, we have the greatest weapons in the world. We have the greatest drones in the world. People don't know that. We have the greatest weaponry in the world. We have, in the case of President Zelensky, he'd like to...
Yeah, we have Predator drones. And by standard, they are the farthest reaching and the most powerful. But in a situation where drone swarms overpower those kind of munitions, we do not.
Some Patriots, they'd like to have some Tomahawks, which are, lethal, one offensive, one defensive. But when you give somebody the right, very complex weapons, by the way. I mean, the Patriot, as an example, the other day you read that 5 missiles were shot. They were going 8,600 miles an hour. Think of it, 8,600. Now a car, if you go 6...
Oh my God. Yes. It can a car go 8,600 miles an hour? That's crazy.
It gets to be a little faster. If you go 100, 8,600 miles.
Yeah, we understand the difference between the speed of a fucking rocket and a car meant for human transportation.
Miles an hour, and they were big missiles, and they were shot at Jordan, and our guys were there. Bing, 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 bing. 5. Bing, 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 bing. Right? I don't want to be Biden. I said 6. I had to be very careful.
You did 5 and you thought you did 6. And you wish you were fucking Biden.
That would have been a great soundbite.
Yeah, it's dumb enough that you went bing, 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 bing twice.
5 missiles, and we shot all 5 down before they got close. Nobody else has that capacity.
Yes, they do. The fucking Israelis? The Iron Dome?
These weapons are incredible. We have to be very careful about letting somebody build them. It's very important now.
He got a phone call from Putin.
We are building many plants now to make those, and the Tomahawk missile is the most incredible thing. It can go into a doorway. You can put it through a window.
Really? What is it? What is it? Use a credit card and just jimmy the lock?
The house.
Oh, a window of a house. Okay, it's clear. Thank you. I thought you meant like in a place of business or like a coffee shop.
Nobody's ever said anything like it.
So the walls can't stop it because it can go right through the window?
You have to be very judicious, but you have to be very careful. Now, we have not agreed to that. We're talking about it. But it's a hard thing to give away that kind of technology.
Yeah, we're giving nuclear technology to the fucking Saudis.
And I don't think this would ever happen, but those people that you give that technology, they can someday turn on you. That is possible. You look at war, it's happened a couple of times over the years, right? So we have to be very careful. I mean,
Look at Hank said, yeah, probably.
We guard that. We have the greatest military in the world, but we have the greatest weapons in the world. Now we have to make them a little bit faster because we've given a lot away. You know, President Biden, unfortunately, gave a lot away to Ukraine, and he gave...
Unfortunately, because you were hoping that they would lose.
So did I. I mean, I gave them the javelins, the tank busters. Without the javelins, that
You didn't give them to them. Congress allocated them. You tried to stop them.
war would have been a one-day war. It would have been over. They wiped out the tanks going up to Kiev, where they got stuck in the mud. They had a general that decided to go through the mud instead of going up the highway where they were going very nicely. It would have been over, but...
Yeah, it would have been great if they just rolled down the road in a line, because no one's ever been able to take out a row of tanks driving on a one-lane highway. Gee, I wonder why they split up and went across the farmland. Well, if they, you know, I said they always should have just, you know, gone through where the valley was. There's like a valley, and then they just stay on the road in the center of the valley. And
gave them the javelins. The javelins are unbelievably. We have the greatest weapons in the world. We have to be very careful.
the javelins are unbelievably.
The javelins are unbelievably. We have the greatest
They are unbelievably.
weapons in the world. We have to be very careful about giving out the secrets to those weapons, and they're not. You can't copy them. It's a little like NVIDIA. They have a chip.
NVIDIA.
They say you cannot copy it. The complexity is so great you cannot. You know, most things you copy. China's known for it. Other countries, we do something, and I guess we copy also. But most things you can copy pretty easily. There's a chip that they made, their ultimate chip. And
holy fucking shit. Brutal.
they always have the ultimate chip. I say, well, why doesn't somebody copy it? Because they can't. The complexity. They can't copy our weapons. We have the greatest weapons in the world. Many of them. Those are just two or three that I mentioned. But you cannot copy them, so we have to be very careful.
As Hamas disarms as part of this plan, who do you see as taking possession of those weapons that they had? Does that go to the new government, or does it
be the Board of Peace mostly? It's going to be run by the Board. This Board of Peace has been an amazing. It's led by some.
Yeah, they're going to drop off all their guns at a Board of Peace drop-off site, like one of those things where you drop off clothes for Goodwill.
Board of Peace.
Mr. President.
Board of Peace. They're going to give their guns to the Board of Peace. That makes sense. What's the Board of Peace going to do with all these guns? Sell them to Boko Haram, I think.
You said they do have some capabilities left.
Yeah.
Should Americans be prepared for these back and forth attacks to continue until Iran simply isn't able to strike back?
They'll get weaker. They'll get a little stronger maybe now, but they'll get weaker.
They'll get a little bit stronger now? From what? I thought everything was, I destroyed everything.
And then they peter out. Yeah.
They do or you do?
I think so. I mean, it'd be foolish to say no. You know, you always have to keep your guard up.
What is the status of talks? Who from the administration?
Well, they
is
always
talking
want to talk, but they break their word so often. Steve is talking. Jared, we have very good people. JD's involved, very strongly involved. We have great people talking. Marco's involved.
Because they say talks aren't happening.
Very good people. We're the best people. But they'll make a deal. As an example, we'll talk about nuclear. And we'll be in there talking about nuclear for 7 hours. I say, why do you need 7? You can take 10 minutes. You have 5 minutes. You should solve it. But 7 hours, and then they'll go out, and I'll say, they discuss nuclear. And they'll go out and they'll say, we never discussed nuclear. And I say, why do they say that? Well, they do.
Jesus Christ. Maybe you're the one lying?
Just make me angry. You know?
They're just doing it to make you angry.
Just make me angry. Any other questions?
They wouldn't like you when you're shitting your pants. I mean angry.
Do you believe that you can reach a deal with Iran, given that you talked about...
I guess you can. I mean, look, I'm losing faith in them.
What? Sorry. When did this mysterious faith in the Iranian leadership show up? Before or after you B1'd them last year?
Because they do lie and they do misrepresent. Well, the other day, the 5 missiles we shot, we knocked them down, but we were in the midst of a negotiation. I mean, I'm waiting for Steve to call me. How's the negotiation going? And instead of...
And ping, 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 ping.
I got a call from Pete that they just shot 5 missiles at one of our bases in Jordan. We have bases in Jordan. Fortunately, our people operated the equipment. It's also very complex to operate. You're talking about the equipment.
Yeah, people have to have a talent for that. So you can't exactly give this to the Ukrainians. They don't have any talented weapons operators there.
You have to be. Oftentimes, you see, where did you go to school? MIT, Caltech. I mean, they go to schools that are not as normal for the military. To be honest with you, we have unbelievably brilliant.
Okay, the designers and the operators are different fucking people, stupid.
People operating that equipment. And when you...
No, you do not have MIT graduates going ping, ping, ping.
Don't, the equipment, the shots miss, the safety misses, or the accuracy misses. We have...
The accuracy misses? That's what misses. The accuracy. The safety misses? It's fucking... Okay, listen to this horseshit. Only MIT people can operate them. You got to be super smart, probably have talent, probably good genetics. Yeah? Yeah? Is that what you mean?
Operating that equipment. And when you don't, the equipment, the shots miss, the safety misses, or
the safety misses.
The accuracy misses.
The accuracy misses. The safety and the accuracy. You mean the missiles miss? Is that what he's having trouble with? Fuck me. What is he? How is this?
Unbelievable people. Think of it. We had 100.
Right. You've got tons of unbelievable people. I don't believe him. I don't believe you. I don't believe that guy.
111 at one point a couple of months ago.
Oh no. Ping, ping, ping. Story number 2.
111 over a short period of time. Missiles were shot at the Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier. Great, beautiful ship. One of the most beautiful ships to me, design-wise.
Gorgeous.
111.
I mean, obviously, cruise ships look terrific, but they don't have any big guns on them. So
missiles going out. Out of the 111 missiles, 111 missiles were shot down quite a bit earlier than they got. I mean, long before they got there.
They just didn't want to let them get close to make them feel like they were accomplishing something, like a little kid you're playing basketball against.
It was shot down. It was almost, in a couple of cases, it was shot down almost as they were taking off.
Yeah, some of them were shot down before they were even launched. We blew up a factory, and if you think about it, that's us blowing up those missiles, like before they were even thought of. Like, we probably, when we killed some of these people, we probably stopped some missiles that were in their brains.
It's incredible technology. So you have a ship that costs billions of dollars, and you have missiles heading to it.
Great story. I'm riveted.
111 missiles.
Is it 111? You didn't mention that before. So it was 111, you say. 111.
Were shot down. Mm-hmm. Routinely shot down.
Routinely? So this happens all the time.
And I spoke to the people. I like to reward people. I'll call them up. I'm the president.
Yeah, it's a great reward just to hear from you and go be on the phone after you've almost been killed by 111 projectiles. You're trying to get some sleep, and Mr. Ping 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 is on the fucking phone with you.
And they were cool as a cucumber.
Mr. President, the last 2 weeks of strikes by CENTCOM.
What the fuck were they supposed to be doing?
CENTCOM has said that those were meant to degrade Iran's ability to disrupt the Strait of Hormuz. How many more strikes will it take to significantly...
Well, you never know. Look, I mean, most people would...
You never know.
...have given up by then. They've got no Navy, they got no Air Force. Most people would have given up. They haven't. So I give them credit for that. I mean, they're known as being tough. They're tough.
Back on Ukraine, what did you tell President Zelensky about the Patriots? Did you explain all that to him? Your concern?
I spoke about Patriots. I spoke to him about Tomahawks. Spoke to him about everything. I also spoke to him about let's get this war over with. So last month they had 25,000 people. It's averaging about 25,000.
Over with. He's been saying this increasingly. Instead of I could solve it with one phone call, or we need peace, we got to stop the killing. All I want to do is stop the death, right? And he's been throwing that around for a bit. Now it's just, I want to get this war over with. Like there's a scheduled end date, and let's just bring it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Let's just tighten things up and get this done. Like it's a task that remains unsettled, undone. Like, if we put in weekends, can we, kill the number of allotted people we're going to kill and get it done? This is now his way of, and you can tell he's just bored with his own incapacity. Ugh. So lazy. Oops, get out of here.
People a month die. Mostly soldiers. Almost.
All right, and that's also weird. Mostly soldiers. So weird. Hold on, why is this?
Entirely, but missiles are hitting areas also, but mostly soldiers.
Missiles are hitting areas also. They've been known to do that when missiles hit areas. It's what missiles do.
There are 25,000.
Sometimes they hit zones, and that maybe occasionally entails them going through a window to hit an area.
Soldiers. The month before that, it was 32,000 soldiers. I said, you got to get this war over with. I think he wants to make a deal, and I think Putin wants to make a deal.
Right, like the Iranians want to make a deal?
But there's a lot of dislike, as you probably notice.
He seems very relaxed.
Dislike. That's what it is. It's the war of dislike. So much dislike. That's what divides us.
President Putin.
Well, nobody wants to make concessions.
Dislikers gonna dislike.
But they're both going to have to make some concessions. I mean, you got to make a deal. 25,000.
Oh my God. Did Marco Rubio just do the gay confirmation? Did he just confirm that he's in the closet while we were watching this? We'd always talk about on Queer as Folk, one of our makeup guy, Steven, who's wonderful, would go, like his gaydar, he's like, you don't even need it. This is how you do it. Straight, gay. That was it. Like, if you check your nails this way, you're straight. If you check your nails like that, gay. And that's how you decide. That was enough. Like that was his. He pegged the needle by doing it like that. If you're doing your nails like this, that's how you know. If you're like fuck this kind of thing. If you're doing that, straight, gay. Like that was his thing. Now watch Rubio.
Both going to have to make some concessions. I mean, you got to make a deal. 25,000 young.
He doubles up. He does both. Is this the thing? Now, in all fairness, he could be practicing his chayil for where, after the press leaves.
People, soldiers, mostly soldiers, are dying a month. It's, I ended 8 wars.
I would love for the maggots to name the wars. And if you say Afghanistan and Pakistan, you get a pinwheel hat.
I thought would maybe go first. And it really hasn't. It's kind of last. I mean,
it really hasn't?
Ended wars that were, in theory, much more difficult to end. We had
what?
A couple that were.
Oh yeah, which ones?
Into the 30-year category.
That's a big category. The 30-year category.
Well, the Congo. Look at the Congo and Rwanda.
Which again is not between the Congo and Rwanda. It's between militia groups that are half aligned with both and sometimes neither.
A nasty war.
Oh, nasty.
And they have peace. I don't know how long that one's going to stay.
Narrator, it hasn't stayed.
But we ended India-Pakistan. 11 planes were shot down. That was raging. That was good. I used tariffs. I said, if you're going to go to war, 250% tariff.
It's the same shit.
To each of them.
250%. I'm doing a war tariff. And you don't do it. America's not going to buy all the stuff we normally buy from you. Pakistan.
And they screamed and yelled and were very angry. They were both angry about it. And a day later they called and they said, we will not go to war. But I ended up...
We will not go to war. Their English is so good.
And the Prime Minister of Pakistan said I saved 50 million lives. Because that's true nuclear powers, serious nuclear powers. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, he got bored with it.
Enjoy Camp David.
Enjoy Camp David. Yeah, what are they going to do? Go to the fucking cafeteria?
I don't. No, I think that Minnesota is behind it. You know who's behind it?
Oh.
Minnesota, because they.
Oh, they got Minnesota got hacked, and he says Minnesota is behind the hacking. The Iranians claimed that they did it, and he blames Minnesota because he's a fucking lunatic.
Confident. I think the governor's behind it. I don't think there was an Iranian cyber attack. I think that Minnesota ought to get its act together. It's one of the worst run states. JD will tell you. He found tremendous corruption in Minnesota. Yes, sir. And by the way, just gave me a report. Massive future things having to do with corruption in Minnesota.
Massive future things having to do with corruption in Minnesota.
Are happening right now.
Are happening right now. Massive future things having to do with corruption are happening in Minnesota right now. Okay.
You talked to Senator Fetterman about the...
So, excuse me, sir, real quick. What the fuck does that actually mean? Wait, you mean there's investigations ongoing and you expect that they're going to be... you found things out and you're just not saying them for some reason?
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, he was going to shit his pants, so they had to rush everybody out of there. Somebody left their audio going, I think it was. Yeah, that was it. That was it. You guys got to turn your mics off as soon as you leave that room. So yeah, that was his big thing. And one of the things he spoke about earlier in it was the migrant attack, Spain being invaded by Moroccans who are not rocking. And let me see if I can find one of the panic videos about it. Get out of here. I'm sure I have one. Hold on. I know there's one in there like, the Moroccans are coming. The Moroccan. Oh, yeah. Well, let's go straight to the source, man. Here you go. This is little Nikki Fuentes. Moroccan Muslims invade Ceuta, Spain, which is, by the way, this like little area on the peninsula, but like not connected to the mainland in Europe or whatever. But anyway, so there, it was a big deal. These people ran down, and I don't care.
Actually, contrary to what a lot of people believe, Ceuta is not on the European mainland. When you think
Yeah, that's what I just said.
of Spain, you think of the territory on the mainland of Europe, the Iberian Peninsula. Ceuta is in northern Africa. It's a small city that Spain held on to, and it shares a border with Morocco in northern Africa. And today, for whatever reasons we'll get into, typically there's a huge fence around the city to prevent Arab Muslims.
The Supreme Court said that they changed the rules on people getting into Spain via the sea so that they could avoid people drowning or, turning back boats and then the boats go back. It's kind of a problem we had with Cuba for a while to minimize civilian deaths when people are trying to get there. So it changed the rules about your asylum qualifications if you get into Spain via the ocean. So what everybody came up with the idea is we'll bum rush around the fence and we'll swim through the ocean to Ceuta's territory. Swim basically around the fence. So everybody bum rushed down into it. I don't know if he's going to show the footage. Probably not. I don't know. This is a long, rambly bunch of shit. But yeah, here, I'll see if I can find. A bunch of people panicked about this. Yeah, here you go. This is here's Forbes doing it. Oh, sorry. No. This isn't the Moroccans who bum rushed into there. Hold on. Let me. I gotta get the. Oh, here. Well, we'll go to Lana Douche. Lana Douche covered it. act of war. Look at all the people just jumping over the fence into which Islamists have invaded another nation. And by the way, this is apparently this has got to be an AI of these folks like jumping over the American southern border wall, because that's our our design, I guess. But we'll see. Okay, so here you go.
Thousands upon thousands
upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands
storming what they call the EU border.
What they call the EU border.
Some of them swam to this island.
It's not an island.
I'm looking at tons of photos. Not a single one being a woman. Now,
yeah, it was kind of dangerous. I mean, the whole point was, you get what we call roofing age males.
The Spanish president, Pedro Sanchez, said on X that Spain is fully committed to providing an immediate response to the situation. And Cueto, we're totally dedicated. I don't know if I believe that because...
Well, don't really care. Is she going to show the... Let's see. Yeah, here you go. So this is the footage that Trump freaked out about, like...
September of 23.
There they are. So somewhere like... It was like everybody's using the number 50,000. And there's a reason why. Just shy of 50,000.
Other video. Look how many women you don't see. All military-age men. Interesting that. All men coming in. All men.
It looks like they're trying to get soccer tickets, and most of them, you wouldn't think they weren't Spanish.
Not a single woman. Do you see any babies? I didn't see any babies. None.
Yeah, but you're not going to, in general, swim across with a baby.
I didn't see any. So weird that. So all of these people coming in to this Ceuta, this Spanish island. Now,
Ceuta?
I had up here as well. Pedro Sanchez was tweeting out how they're because he was accused, he's being criticized for not sending in the military. He said they're going to provide an immediate response. They're mobilizing all necessary resources. This is the time to build solutions and a bunch of BS that I don't care about.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, she's got to play. Yeah, here you go. Government of Spain is fully committed to providing an immediate response to the situation. Ceuta, we are mobilizing all necessary resources at the moment to build solutions. Responsible. Okay, blah blah. And then let's see if she's got to show it again, right? And besides going, I don't care, I don't know, I don't care, I don't know. Okay, goes bed, add, back to, I don't know, I don't care, I don't know, I don't care. Okay, so she doesn't. All right, but anyways, everybody's saying like, oh my God, 50,000 people stormed the fucking, came from Morocco and went to Sweden. Okay, watch as thousands of Moroccans return to Morocco after crossing into Spain. So all these folks, because the rule had changed about you could enter if you went by sea, they're like, yeah, that doesn't count. You can't just swim down the beach and get away with it. So that doesn't qualify and they turned them around. And all these folks, there's a lady, look. Sorry, Lana Douche. And yeah, these are the people that 1,000 Moroccans returned to Morocco after surge and sweat. Okay, I think there's another shot. So some of them are, this is their way in, and then they got rounded up and marched back. See all the trucks? Well, that was fun. Nice, thanks guys. Yeah, walking right back up the way they came. I mean, you give them an A for effort. So if they were in a boat, it would count. Almost. The Supreme Court rules about entering the mainland via the sea, and then you can argue, for your safety, and before they send you back, you can get a chance to have your case adjudicated because you've been in the ocean. It's dangerous, and if they just turn your boat around, it might not be seaworthy and you might die. So in an attempt to try and save people who are drowning coming across the sea from Morocco and Ceuta into the mainland, they set that rule up. They changed the rule. and they turned everybody around. So all those people, there's the soldiers, like, nope, sorry, you misread the rule, buddy. And the same thing here. Here you go. This is Spain says 48,000 Moroccans have returned to Morocco after surging across the border. Womp womp. And I don't know if this is the walking traffic in Morocco in general. But a lot of the dudes who made the swim were just sent back immediately. As they're waiting for their Uber to go back to back home. Oh, that's the Steve Gruber one. We'll get to that in a second too. Cool. So, anyways, everything they were flipping out about, like this is an invasion, the Muslims are doing an invasion or whatever. Okay. By the way, the attempt to escape like North Africa and go find a job in Europe, you could hardly blame anybody. But the idea that they're raging into Europe as surging Muslims, especially this particular group, yeah, absurd. But there you go. The big turnaround, and it was all over in a day. Somebody said, all I see are humans. I'm curious if you feel the same way when the Proud Boys are walking. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, give Spain a little bit of credit for trying to manage their border and the purpose of immigration into their country too. You know what I mean? It's like when people are like, the future is female. And I'm like, oh, you mean like MTG and Lauren Boebert and Candace Owens and Liz Wheeler and whoever that woman is who hosts the Blaze show? Well, obviously not them. Oh, okay. So it isn't so much about the sex. It's about the sex of the ones you like. And what's different that they're saying from the men that you like? Not that much. This, this kind of unified or like women or men as a block idea is a little tired at this point. Okay, so let's go into, this is an audio one, I guess, right? Yeah, he called Steve Gruber at real anus
because of the courage
vehicle.
And the brave value to do
raw anus vengeance. Where is it? Okay. Oh, here it is. Yeah. It's going to be the same shit, isn't it? We're in a commercial break. There you go. There, this guy.
You've been very nice to me. I appreciate it. So let's get going.
All right. Well, you're busy every day. So much going on. Let's start with what many people believe should be an easy thing to get done, securing our elections. But the Save America Act still stuck. Senate apparently wants to go on vacation for a month. Obviously, this is a big issue for you. What are your thoughts?
It's hardly believable, actually. I would think that of all the things in the world today, that maybe the easiest thing to get approved would be voter ID with a photo and would be proof of citizenship, if you just took those two elements. I would say that may be the easiest thing I can think of. If you ask me for what would be the easiest...
Jesus, he sounds hammered.
Easiest thing to get approved, I would say voter ID, I would say proof of citizenship. And that includes Democrats, because if you look at the polls, they're 87% for everybody, including Democrats. They're 98% for Republicans, and I'm trying to figure out who the 2%. So I would be, I am amazed that the Senate can't get that approved.
You know, voter ID is even on the ballot in California. It's expected to pass there. So even the bluest of blue states, election integrity matters. I have a question for you. What if you made it clear from now until Election Day that any non-citizen that cast a ballot would be deported for violating federal law, period?
Well, I think that's fine. I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with it. It's actually a good idea. I'm going to mark it down. I think that's fine because you have plenty of them. our voting system is strictly third world. Look at the 2020 election, what happened there, all the
How'd you get elected then as a sister?
criminality, and now you're seeing it. Now it's
No, we're not.
coming out
No, it isn't.
in spades.
It's not coming out in clubs or hearts or green clovers or blue
They
diamonds.
knew it then. Everybody knew then that the election was rigged.
No, they didn't.
And
Still
look
don't.
what happened to the kid with in California, where all
The kid.
of a sudden they found all those mail-in ballots came in. He had no chance of losing to her. In fact, she was crying, the third person that nobody ever heard of. She was crying that she lost. Oh, that's so terrible. Then all of a sudden, like a long time after the election was over, they said a lot of ballots have been mailed in. You know, it's third world stuff. He didn't lose. He won. He came in at least second. But
He won. He came in at least second.
he should be in the runoff. She's a total no name. Nobody knows who she is. And all of a sudden, there was a big groundswell for her after the election was over. It was a rigged election.
Well, you look at what happened here in the state of Michigan, where I live, where you just visited. Manufacturing of voters in Muskegon, Michigan. Normally 250 folks would come in a session. 10,000 came in. It was a pay-to-play scheme, wasn't it? I mean, you revealed all this.
Well, we'll take a look at...
Sorry, then explain the turnout when he won in Michigan.
2020 in Detroit. They had more votes cast than they had people, okay?
No, they didn't.
How about that one? By a lot. Very few people voted. They had more votes cast than they had
Very few people voted, but they had more votes cast than they had people.
So the people came in, but the ballots were far more than the people that they had. Detroit is one of the real bad places.
Yeah, well said, sir. Well said. He's still got that grip on the English language that some of us, I mean, we aspire to have a vocabulary like his. So, you know, I dare to dream. I dare to dream.
Voting.
Yeah.
In terms of voting.
Maybe the worst, but Philadelphia is really bad. Los Angeles is very bad. You got bad places. Chicago is very bad.
But notice it's cities with large black populations, it seems.
Crooked elections. We have third world elections.
Let me ask you about the DSA and the socialists upset.
Oh boy. Okay, boring. Why don't you ask about the Epstein files while you're at it? Now, this is, where is it? I think this is who is talking about? This is the 5? All right. Okay, that's the whole thing of it. I just want to, So they jump out. It's all the ladies. This is the version of the
War would
View.
have been a one-day war. Would have been over. They
their version of the
wiped out
View.
the tanks going up to Kiev, where they got stuck in the mud. They had a general that decided to go through the mud. And
What is it stuck in the mud?
There's a chip.
Also, hold on.
You know, most things you copy. China's known for it. Other countries, we do something, and I guess we copy also. Most things you can copy pretty easily. There's a chip that they made, their ultimate chip, and they all
their ultimate chip.
Have the ultimate chip. And I say, well, why doesn't somebody copy it? Because they can't. The complexity.
So they just held on her the entire time instead of showing him, just so they could catch her going. This.
Weapons. We have an amazing. It's led by some amazing people. Border peace.
On Iran,
What do they say? All they do is make me angry. You know, you just make me angry. Any other
Okay, blah, 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 kicks him out, blah, blah, blah. All right, all right, I want to get to the part where the panel starts talking about this, because we saw this already. They do jump in. I don't know if he kicks everybody out. Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys, you were just watching the 13th convention. He convened his cabinet at Camp David, and we learned a lot there.
We so did.
We're going to dig in just a moment, so let's do
with the Real Housewives of Fox in the afternoon.
Our introductions. Hello, everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Emily Compagno. And
hi, Emily.
Joining us today, Laura Trump.
You can't do that to me. You can't. Not after he said transgender mutilations of our children, and then you're going to thrust that on me. Whew.
View with Laura Trump.
What a great name. My View. See what you did there.
Arthel Neville, Fox News anchor. Rebecca Heinrichs, Hudson Institute senior.
The queen of having that look on her face like someone's holding a cat turd under her nose at all times.
Senior fellow. And Marcus Lemonis, businessman and Fox News.
One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. I think it's the idea that there's a guy on there and he's outnumbered by the ladies.
All right, so let's dive right in, Laura. We covered there in that cabinet meeting, obviously everyone's input from the different secretaries, but also the president then took a ton of questions from the press, covering everything from elections and
all 6 of them.
Upcoming midterms and the state of the Democratic Party. Also Iran. Also
Iran.
Would deal with Hamas. Also a lot of things. Things going on around that. So
also Hamas.
What stuck out to
Iran.
You in all of this?
Well, I just continue to think about the transparency we overall get with this president. You know,
yeah, it's so good. You get to see one of the rooms at Camp David, and for the same fucking bullshit he says everywhere he goes, but there's transparency because they're in the cabinet room at Camp David like it's a fucking tourist event. I don't know, like there. It seems to be literally he's acting like he just did it so he could show the press that they work at Camp David, which you know what that means. That's the only work they're doing at Camp David.
Looking back as we were waiting for that to wrap, at the comparison between...
Believe me, we all feel you. Everybody was watching that, waiting for it to be over.
The Trump cabinet meetings and the Biden cabinet meetings. First term, Donald Trump held 25 cabinet meetings. The 4 years Joe Biden was in office, anybody have a guess? 9. 9 total. And the difference now is I think he's changed the standard in terms of what the American people expect out of these cabinet meetings. It used to be that there were very kind of brief prepared remarks from the secretaries, from the president himself, and then they ushered the press out. Very different than what you get from...
They do the same thing, except he just blathers on for a while. The only difference is that after the press leaves, there's an actual meeting. After they take the press out of these, Trump fucking leaves. You don't actually think he stays there.
As you just noted, Emily, he covered a whole range of topics. The press was allowed to be there for the entirety of it. And then he took questions from so many different reporters. And he's just an open...
It's a press event, dipshit. They weren't arguing points. They weren't pushing strategy. He was just getting like a kiss-ass report. The same thing he does at the White House.
This is something the American people deserve. We deserve to hear from these individuals who are making these big decisions for our country.
You do. They all make speeches. They all give remarks. They all have their department PR, like press conferences about their particular area of... Each cabinet secretary has one. Marco Rubio has his own stuff. Hegseth has done stuff over at the Department of Dickheads. And Bassett goes on the news all the time, but he's like, there's nothing stopping him from walking up to the podium at the Treasury and having a press conference. That's all this is. You're not watching them hash it out. The only thing I've ever watched them hash out was the gun stuff, which has been haunting Trump forever, that whole take the guns and then do due process.
For our future, we haven't really seen that before, and I think it's very refreshing to the American public that this is...
Sorry, you think it's very refreshing to the American public? Really? As a member of the American public? With a sort of with a little bit of like distance from the president, so that you can get a real perspective. You've got a true, regular Joe kind of perspective, do you there, Laura Trump?
I hope the new standard going forward for the cabinet meetings.
And not that it's about me, but I personally am honored and proud to be part of a network that keeps that on.
Yes.
That shows the American public, everyone, because those reports for me from the secretaries, I think are incredibly invaluable. And it just shows to me the tight line between the American public.
Incredibly invaluable? I think there's just invaluable or incredibly valuable. But
and every single different agency and department that these guys head up, the direct line of communication, the efficiency, and then right up to the president and out to us, thanks to Fox that's broadcasting it. Rebecca, we were talking a lot off air as we saw this.
yeah, the viewers hate watching that thing because it's boring as fuck.
About the current status.
So she's trying to, like, again, glaze the network.
Especially of our relationship with China and China's relationship with Iran and Russia. Can you sort of talk a little bit about what you are seeing in the grand scheme here?
Sure. Well, I mean, first of all, I just want to point out in that meeting, what I found really, really interesting is the president was able to field all of these questions about all of these different foreign crises while also handling our domestic concerns. So while Americans...
So hold on. He wasn't handling our domestic concerns. He was dismissing them.
May be concerned about things at home, he was very calm. I mean, a lot of these questions he got from the press.
Yeah, he's a sociopath. He doesn't care.
About Iran, things, potentially there was the cyber attack against Minnesota.
And he blamed the governor.
That reporters thought maybe came from Iran. And the president said, look, Iran's got worse problems than this. They're really busy and things are not going well, but we're handling it. So he was really...
Stupid? Really stupid. That's the phrase you're looking for. That was ridiculous. His own people said that.
In explaining, we're handling the problem with Iran. We're handling...
No, you're not. He dismissed it. There's nothing to handle. If they attack the water system in Minnesota, fuck it. I don't care. I don't like that state anyways. The governor's mean to me. So fuck the people of Minnesota. I hope they all drink poison water. What?
China. You mentioned, Emily, you and I were talking about how China might be potentially sending weapons to Iran now. And so we really just have this converging of these adversaries, China, Russia, and Iran.
And the president is attacking the governor of Minnesota.
President Trump was very calm in this meeting saying, we're going to handle it while we're handling all these challenges we have domestically.
And part of, I think, the balancing factor that our Gulf allies are seeing is, China's in there a lot, but they are limited. And we are the ones that provide the security assurances there, which they still lean on when the missiles start flying. So it's a balancing effort, I think, for them in terms of the business alliances. How is it affecting your businesses here? What are...
I don't know where that was a mess. I literally couldn't get a hook on how she was trying to like crowbar this into something having to do with the guest.
Well, before we jump into that, Laura's point about the transparency of the administration, if every corporate boardroom in America allowed people to understand what was happening in their business, it would be great.
Would it? Would it really? I'm sure their competitors would like it.
I took away from that Scott Bessent's leadership and his level of transparency on, quite frankly, what matters most to American people, which is what shows up in their wallet, continues to be strong. As it relates to China, China sold $70 million worth of arms in the last week. We know that money came from when the ceasefire was open. Iran was shipping out $450 million a day. They got money back in their coffers. The good news is we waited them out, and now we got this deal.
Okay, back up. Sorry. One more time.
And his level of transparency on, quite frankly, what matters most to American people, which is what shows up in their wallet.
Marcus Lemonis, businessman. All right, so businessman, explain to us Iran and China trading arms or funds or oil or both or neither.
As it relates,
listen to. I'm very confused. Let me hear this again.
To China. China sold $70 million worth of arms in the last week. We know that money came from when the ceasefire was open. Iran was shipping out $450 million a day. They got money back in their coffers. The good news is we waited them out, and now we got this deal.
China sold $70 million worth of arms in the last little bit. During the ceasefire, the Iranians were shipping out $450 million a day. I'm guessing he means 450 million barrels a day of oil, or making $450 million a day, which, by the way, is barely enough for them to feed their people. And then now we've got this deal. What deal? There isn't a deal. It can't mean the MOU, because that's, even Trump admits that was a farce and is dead now.
About inspection more than
Hi, I'm Marcus. Which way is business? Yeah.
anything else. How do we enforce it and how do we make sure that it happens?
Yeah, it's on your mind.
Well,
Yeah, totally. That's true. That deal that we have, it's such a deal. It's so much of a deal. Like, how do we make sure that deal is best for everybody who's part of the deal, especially when we've got, a deal that's such a deal, I do business. I'm a man that does business. Some people call me a businessman. I won't stop them.
Of course, no doubt, this president is definitely media savvy, and he loves the camera, as you well know. He knows how to do that
Well, it doesn't like him very much.
quite well. But there is some serious news that he discussed in this particular cabinet meeting, and that is the deal that is in place now with Hamas laying down arms. So a lot of questions. We'll take the win, first of all, but there are a lot.
Yeah, take that win. Don't worry about it. Oh, let's see. Hold on one second. I have to check something. If you, excuse me. Yes, so the U.S. President announced a breakthrough via Truth Social during a cabinet meeting in Camp David, detailing a 15-point roadmap mediated by the U.S., Qatar, and Turkey. Senior Hamas official Ghazi Hamad confirmed to Al Jazeera and CNN that the group accepted a gradual de-weaponization plan, noting that police weapons would be stored under a transitional body, the National Committee for the Administration of Gaza, rather than immediately destroyed, so they'll have stockpiles of weapons. And Hamas maintains it will not execute any disarmament steps unless Israel fully implements its withdrawal and stops all strikes. Furthermore, Hamas stated that the eventual surrender of heavy weapons is tied to the future creation of an independent Palestinian state. I don't know how much more excited you could possibly be. It's amazing. How did they manage to get people on board with such an amazing deal? Fuck me. It's
That remain, and that is, will Israel sign off? Israel has not always done the right thing and has not always
Well, that's one way to put it, I guess.
been in lockstep with the President Trump, that is. What is the glue that's going to make this stick? And, will the people of
I think you're going to need a welding torch. Glue will be insufficient.
Gaza be able to return home is another question. Will they get reimbursed to rebuild? So a lot of questions. Again, we take the win, but there are questions that do.
There is no win. There's no win. Nothing changed. Nothing. This announcement changed fuck all. There is no change. Hamas saying they will disarm as soon as Israel gets out completely is a non-starter for Israel, because they're not going to get out completely until they know that the disarming has happened. What are we talking about? This is idiotic. Nothing changed. There is no announcement. There was no progress. None whatsoever. This is like, now do the MOU. There's no win. There's no deal. Nothing has changed. Shit.
Here, will they, the people of Gaza, be involved in the new Palestinian government that has been formed according to?
No, by the way, no. No, it's a technocracy. It will be run by people in the Board of Peace, digitally from outside. They will not be on the ground administrators. They will have, and I guess what they choose to do or want to do will be enforced by the Israeli military. So no, none of it.
From the president and the White.
According to reports from the president and the White House. And there we have it.
White House. And then also, I'd like to know, what did Hamas get? What is the money? What made them say, okay, finally, we'll do this? And then also, of course, how will this impact the war?
They didn't. It's the same shit with like Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine could want it to be over, but the Russians are like, we'll leave as soon as Ukraine gives us the land. Then that's not leaving, dipshit.
So again, yeah, it's great to see everyone fielding questions, but there are some answers that are still out there to be
like all of them
to be satisfied.
As national security analyst, do you want to weigh in on any of this?
Sure. I mean, I'm actually not worried about the Israelis' compliance. I'm worried about the fact that the root cause of the problem with Hamas is it's a jihadist death cult that committed the horrible atrocities on October 7th.
Sorry, so you're under the impression that no deal can be made with them. So I guess you agree with me that Trump is insane.
And so unless UNRWA, this UN organization, is out of this and because they have been caught facilitating Hamas, they need to be out of this peace process. And we need to have people who are committed to the de-radicalization of these people. Otherwise, you're still going to have jihadists there committed to the death of Israelis and Jews. And so we cannot have that. So as President Trump said, this is the very beginning. We still have a lot of questions.
At the very beginning. What the fuck was the 20-point deal that they stole from Biden, of course, and then implemented without any input from the Palestinians? Remember that signing in Egypt they had? And all the Free Palestine crowd packed up their fucking hashtags and their headscarves and their little camps on campus, and they went the fuck home because, well, there's a deal. Not a fucking peep out of these people now.
An opportunity. But again, the problem, though, is it's the jihadist death cult of those Hamas terrorists. And so there can be nobody that can facilitate.
And the death of us as well.
And the death of Israel, the death of Americans.
Yeah.
And Israel should not be forced to exit the region until those tunnels are destroyed and Hamas is gone and all those jihadists that support them. Israel cannot afford.
And all the jihadists that support them. So what do? Line people up and ask them a hard question?
And will not afford to have another October 7th.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-host, Harris.
Oh, God. That's what they ended on? That's from Trump. The name of that video was Trump. Excuse me. I'm losing faith in them. All right, now. Fox News did a report, excuse me, on the cyber attack that happened in Minneapolis. And apparently they didn't get the memo from Trump that they're not supposed to give a fuck and that it's probably the governor's fault.
Investigators now believe a cyber attack this week on dozens of Minnesota water systems was probably...
Oh, investigators? And you're citing the New York Times? You don't say. So sorry, Fox, tell me about fake news New York Times, the failing New York Times, that you apparently are going to for confirmation of a story.
Work of Iranian hackers. So what else can they target, and are Americans at risk? Let's ask law enforcement.
Well, I think I'd have to ask somebody. I might have to call them. But I'm fairly certain there are Minnesotans in Minnesota who are Americans.
Cybersecurity expert and former State Department anti-terrorism senior advisor Morgan Wright. So great to see you this morning, Morgan. So basically, the important...
And are you zooming in from heaven? What's it like to be dead? What's it like after you die?
Thing here is that a cyber attack on a water system basically could disable the ability to
have water,
produce water, and treat water. Why do we think that this has Iran's fingerprints on it?
Yeah, well, first of all,
Ichigo Fez, what the fuck? I thought people from Minnesota were Canadians. They just act like Canadians. That's the problem.
Warning came out 4 days before, Charlie, from the CISA, FBI, talking about vulnerabilities, talking about Iran may attack. And look, obviously, we're engaged in a war right now with Iraq.
Excuse me. It's a special military excursion operation, visitation, and Catapultation. I'm just gonna make up words now. Yeah. It's a journey, as this one kid that I say from Drowning said.
And it wasn't just a one.
I was underwater most of the journey. I'll never forget.
Tuesday. They didn't target one here, didn't target one there. They targeted 30 at one time, going after these small computers called programmable logic computers. And what they do is these things control the flow of chemicals, because to treat water, you have to put a lot of chemicals in. Too many can become caustic, can become dangerous. So they're targeting those things at one time. We know from Tradecraft that a group called Cyber Avengers, which is a proxy of the IRGC.
The Cyber Avengers. Cyber Avengers
is one of the ways that Iran gets us out without having attribution. So there's moderate to high confidence that definitely Iran is behind the attack. And look, the timing is not coincidental.
You know, we normally think of Russia being behind things like this when it comes to.
Yes, another one of Trump's friends.
Cyber attacks. Is there any reason to believe that Russia could have been working in cahoots with Iran on something like this?
You know what? Have Trump ask Putin. I'm sure he'll say no.
It is not unlikely that Iran and Russia collaborate together on many things. We know that China and North Korea collaborate together on many things, especially in cyberspace. So when you've got, look, there are 5 domains of war, Charlie: sea, air, land, space, cyberspace. We own the first 4 with Iran, without a doubt. But the 5th domain is where they can get help, they can get tactics, techniques, they can get tools from.
Yeah, remember Stuxnet? Absolutely.
Countries like Russia who are sympathetic to what Iran is going through. So I don't have any direct evidence, but let's put it this way: if you set a file in front of me and showed me a linkage, I would not be shocked in the least.
Why would they target water supplies, and what other municipal vulnerabilities are there out there for Americans?
You know, Charlie, I go back to the Colonial Pipeline hack. During COVID, a group called DarkSide, which is actually out of Russia, shut down pipelines, basically.
Again, more of Trump's friends.
Shut down Colonial Pipeline. People responded as though we had lost energy. Right, we had lost power, no more oil. Well, when you want to bring a nation to its knees or to instill fear, you go after 2 things: power and water. So for them to go after water, this is one of
that's their war crimes, and that's what Trump is doing. So it shouldn't be a shock that they're doing the same thing. We don't have desalination plants in general. We have a few of them, but not anywhere near the number that, say, Iran has. And the threat of destroying them, or actually destroying them, which Trump may have already done and just lied about it, would be one of the other reasons why they would retaliate on our water supply.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Safety, security, heat, comfort, power. So that's one of the reasons they go after it. Look, but anything, we have a lot of critical infrastructures. We can defend anything, Charlie. We just can't defend everything. So you've got healthcare. Imagine if hospitals had to shut down, no patients. Imagine if you go to your bank account, all the money's gone. Imagine if you go to flip the lights on and there's no power. Well, what are all the things that cascade from that? So I'm not trying to paint a picture of gloom and doom. You never have me on for the fun stories. It's always the bad stories like this. But it's very important that people realize that they are the first line of defense. Your accounts, your passwords, the things that you do are.
Yeah, by the way, that's why they hit the Minnesota ones more than likely, is because it started with a phishing attack. And there are a lot of areas where the cybersecurity is taken for granted or is considered lower res just because it has been for a long time. Like maybe they'll attack New York's waterways, or, water systems rather, or California or DC or Washington State, like Seattle. Maybe, you can kind of expect it there, and they're probably vigilant about there, but the Minnesotans wouldn't expect it, right? That's one of the reasons why they go there. But it's Chicago, it's Illinois adjacent, which is Chicago adjacent, which again spreads through the news there, and the fear from it has an impact on the Chicagoland news, as viewers, that kind of thing.
Very important to keeping America safe.
Morgan Wright, we look forward to bringing you back for one of the fun stories. Thank you so much.
Yes, bring him back for the story where Trump says it turned out not to be the Iranians. It was the governor of Minnesota doing it to his own people. Oh my God. We have a they sighting. Uh-oh. It's they, them. It's the they. It's the they, them pronouns are attacking again. They failed. Let's examine what we just heard. How did the argument change? They don't want you listening to me, and this is proof. So they failed. They tried to attack, and they were trying to stop You get a video. All right.
My friend's like, dude, have you seen this? And it's now before I even play this, I already start laughing whenever I see someone thinking they're the Riddler. or hey, did you see the movie V for Vendetta? We're gonna pass on messages so it looks important.
Okay, so he's playing an anonymous video, I guess.
And
they've been doing this for a long time.
Do the V right away. I can't take this banana seriously. I can't even take him seriously. It's already.
Yeah, but the problem is they do actual stuff. Anonymous does actual attacks. They do actually release documents. They do actually, like cyber attacks have been attributed to them.
So, listen what this banana says. All right, he's
in the video.
Something I say, which basically, I'll say it again.
I'm gonna guess this isn't the official anonymous channel.
And I'm able to diffuse emotions from most things. That doesn't mean I don't care. It doesn't mean I don't care. It just means
I don't care.
When you're like Argentina soccer. I was not into soccer whatsoever. Okay. But let me see this guy and the Messi guy and all that. And from what I saw, I'm like, this guy, I'm not a fan.
This is so good. This is, I feel like we're really entering new territory. There's a lot of growth happening here. I feel like we're getting into some deep subjects. We're getting into some detail. There's some, obviously the brain is firing on all cylinders, and the allegories, the analogies, they're clear, they're concise, they're descriptive. What the fuck are you talking about?
He's constantly trying to create a foul. He showed in the world how classless the one guy gets twirled in the air, could have broke his neck, whatever. What does Messi do? There's a guy down the field that just plops. He sees the guy fall and he plops. And then Messi starts pouring. Hey, the guy with nobody around him just fell down. Forget this guy who just got murdered on the field. The guy over that we need a foul. Then he tried.
This is awesome. I've almost completely forgotten that he helped Trump get elected as best he could. I don't know what impact he had, but he certainly tried as best he could. And he's, I've totally forgotten about that. And the Epstein files, affordability is right out of my head. I'm not even thinking about the Iran war. And, at this point, I'm almost convinced Harris would have done this, And, it's amazing. I'm spellbound.
Get another guy in trouble. He's like, oh, he covered his mouth when he knew he didn't cover his mouth. Like, I can't take anyone seriously when they cheat like that. If that's part of the game, now, you know how many people that support Messi and they're like, you, this, and that. That's because you're emotionally attached. And we're emotionally attached, we will.
Yeah, it's almost crazy. Like some sports fans actually care about the sport and get really involved in it. And people who don't care that much watch it secondarily and will get caught up in a moment, but really don't pay attention to the rest of it. And they're like, you people who paint your bodies two colors are very strange.
We will blindly support anything.
Anything. That's right. Messi fans especially, like they're ready to Heaven's Gate themselves. If Messi told them to, they'd cut their balls off, put their Nikes by the side of the shoes, and wait for the comment.
Especially if it's your team.
By the bed, yeah.
I talked about this a long time ago. Like when I loved the Mets. All right, years ago, I loved the Mets, New York Mets, and I love.
Oh, the New York Mets. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. You lost me for a second. I was talking about I thought it was a totally different Mets.
Loved Jose Reyes. And when he first came back, the Mets got rid of Jose, and I was heartbroken.
Sorry, this is supposed to convince me that the Illuminati is trying to shut you down?
And a lot of Mets were heartbroken.
They don't want you listening to me, And this is proof. That's the title of this
And
video.
then years later, he came back like, yay, Jose Reyes is back. And then he slapped around his girl. And when you're emotionally attached, you immediately defend who you're attached to.
Nah, not for that. That's a detachment.
Without even knowing
a detachment, if you
on
will.
the story. And, I used to make the joke like, well, you don't know what she was saying. And you don't know his culture. So, but we can laugh about that. But, and I say, if that's your sister, if that's your mother, if that's your daughter.
Or if that's just a woman being struck.
Is it the same? No. You'd be appalled that someone in your family smacked a female.
Sorry, and you're not if it's a woman you don't know? I'm starting to question this whole Christianity thing you're pushing on the rest of your channel.
Especially if they're not attacking you or you're not in self-defense. So with that said, these people, we were having a conversation about, I try so hard to stay out of the world events. And we go have dinner, and they're immediately talking about how these people are taking over, and these people are taking over, and they want us dead, and blah, blah, blah. And
who was this dinner with? Nick Fuentes?
I was like, this is all based on fear. Who's feeding you this fear?
Right. Yes. Why? Who is telling you to be afraid of some abstract other?
So
who would do such a terrible thing?
I bring that up in the live, and during the live, I say, listen, a lot of you are like, oh, the Muslims, and I simply said, the Muslims didn't do this to me, and they didn't do. You can claim they did this, and some guy told me, some guy was like, in 2 A.D. the Muslims took, and they slayed the Christians and they slayed the Jews in 300 B.C. What does that have to do?
Well, Islam didn't start till about 610 BC, so your friends are either fucking with you or they're as dumb as you are. I'm just
right here and right now. Oh yeah, nothing. So the fear, projecting fear. I feel like we're at a time where you're either going to project love or you're going to
That's what this show is.
Project fear.
Also, I guess what this show is.
And there's always room to project love and find love. I don't care what the situation, they could be the toughest situations in the world. Fear usually comes from anger, usually comes from hurt, from pain, and
it's the other way around.
Anger and the fear makes you lash out, makes you want to kill, makes you want to be violent, makes you...
Are we still talking about soccer fans?
Makes your mind goes crazy. So, I make a video.
It's great. Yeah, he's so close to making no point whatsoever.
Or Kyle put together a little piece of this long conversation, and I get analyzed. And here's what I want you to think about.
Why would you tell people what to think about? Why wouldn't you just show them the thing and let them think?
And maybe it's me. We'll look at this.
It's you.
Together. This guy tries to push off that he agrees with part of the video. And then when I start poking to say, who are the ones projecting fear? Who are the ones on the news channels? Who owns the news channels? Who is...
Yeah, you wouldn't be afraid of a tornado if you didn't know it was coming. By the time it got there, you'd be dead. So why are they always trying to terrify you?
Putting the videos online.
Why are people on the news always telling you about, wash your hands so you don't catch a disease and stuff like that? I mean, if you catch a disease, you'd be dead, and then you got no problems anymore. They're trying to stop you from not having problems? These people in the news?
Who are the ones responsible for these situations?
Oh, the situations, right. I've been wondering that for a while. Who are the people responsible for these situations?
The ones hiding in the shadows.
Oh, the shadow situations. Those are the worst kind of situations because they happen and you don't even know it. And then you don't know what you're supposed to be afraid of. And then you just are because you got FOMO about terror.
We're all staring here going, they're going to kill us all. Well, who brought them here? Who paid for them here?
Sorry. So they are a threat. It just, the other person brought them. So somebody puts a poisonous snake in your lunchbox and you open it up. That doesn't make the poisonous snake not poisonous when you're asking who put it there. Still a poisonous snake, I think, in theory. Good God.
Projecting this fear. And this is where this guy goes, see what he does right here? That's called propaganda. Yeah, let's take it away from the monkey in a suit. From the monkey in a suit. Look at this banana. Go ahead, hit this. Muslim, and I'm like, watch out, he's got a backpack. Because that's the fear, and where'd that fear come from? Television, news, politics? Who controls that? Because that person's hiding really well. Well, they got us fearing looking at something else as a target. I don't know any Muslim that brought me pornography. I don't know any Muslims that
pornography
said my school.
Is that when you jack off to shrimp? I don't know. I've never seen any pornography, but I'm worried that now my phone is sitting on the desk and now my Instagram feed is going to be full of pornography. Okay.
Sorry.
This is the level of self-involved that's happening here. Like him staring at himself while this other guy is calling him out for something, and he's so fucking wound up. and then you come in and you got to hit me with pornography, and now I've got shrimp porn. That made this video worth it.
5-6-year-old, what it's like to be gay, or what it's like to cut your penis off and transgender. I've never met a Muslim that was extremely violent or created television shows, created movies that depicted immorality.
You've never met a Muslim that made a movie or a television show that depicted immorality?
Okay.
You just heard someone make an argument. At first, it sounds reasonable. In fact, part of it is.
Oh,
he reminds us not to judge people simply because they belong to a particular group.
Right.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
We should judge individuals by what they do.
Correct.
Not by the label someone else puts on them.
Right.
But then something subtle happens.
Subtle.
The argument changes. Instead of asking us not to stereotype, we're asked to ignore evidence. That's an important distinction. He says, I've never met. That's called anecdotal evidence.
It's actually called anecdotal. The C actually is pronounced. It's not as big of a slip as pornography, but anecdotal. Perhaps you meant anodyne. Maybe I don't know. Are you going to? This is so stupid. Both of them. This is all right.
Your personal experience is real, but it isn't the same as reality.
Oh, really?
I've never met a serial killer. That doesn't mean serial killers don't exist. I've never been in an earthquake. That doesn't mean earthquakes are imaginary.
Oh.
This is one of the oldest techniques in persuasion.
Oh,
it begins with the truth
that I learned.
Then it
I
quietly
didn't know I was that
asks
smart.
you to ignore the truths that don't fit.
Oh.
Most Muslims.
It's interesting that he talks over the guy. That's one of the reasons why I pause the shit that I'm doing, with rare exception. I pause it so that I'm not just stepping on what they're saying, so that you think I'm kind of like winning a conversation with somebody that isn't present, so that their complete thought is either said or is, if I hit unpause, it will continue and you will see whether I was right or wrong in my assessment of where they were going or what they were saying. But he just kind of yammers over top of it nervously.
True. So concerns about Islamist terrorism are just prejudice. That's a different claim. One does not prove the other. The same reasoning could be used for
disprove
almost anything. Most politicians are honest, therefore corruption isn't real. Most police are good, therefore misconduct never happens. Most immigrants obey the law, therefore illegal immigration isn't a problem. Do you see what's happening?
Tell me.
True statement becomes a shield against inconvenient facts. That's not critical thinking.
Oh, really?
That's propaganda.
Oh.
Propaganda rarely begins with an obvious lie. It begins with something you already know is true. Then
I kind of feels like he's dragging this out a little. I gotta say, like, I mean, I appreciate there's music in the background. Maybe that helps this, spoonful of sugar, but
encourages you to stop asking questions. Reality is harder than that. Most Muslims are peaceful people. Some extremists have committed horrific acts while claiming to act in the name of Islam. Both statements are true. Rejecting one because the other makes us uncomfortable doesn't bring us closer to the truth. It moves us farther away. Truth isn't found by choosing one fact over
yeah, we get it. You find 9 ways to say the same thing, but wrap it up.
another. It's found by having the courage.
I have a rule. I do not. If I have to watch this mask for more than 45 seconds, I'm going to need to see Natalie Portman at some point. It's more of a guideline than a rule, but for my needs to be met as a viewer, I insist.
My friend. You're all anonymous.
Get my Batman outfit. I have something profound to put out there. Dun, 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 dun. May I bring you truth and courage as I hide behind my Riddler outfit. Bam, 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 bam. Batman, someone's saying something online, and I have to look important, and I will be courageous.
All right, did he make a point or not? Did he make a point or not? I mean, this boils down to the same thing. Like, famous people shouldn't have a say. So that's the other thing that he gets hit with, I'm sure, occasionally, or that he hits other people with in his same industry. Just because you're an actor or a musician or you're known, or like, how dare you? What right do you have to say anything? You're not the average person, so it's because you're above average, you shouldn't say anything, right? Did he make a point or not?
By hiding my face. You're hiding your face.
Yeah, like Patriot Front or the Proud Boys.
So maybe you guys online will help me here. So propaganda is, so you take out of that, if I say, because the conversation was about Muslims are taking over and Islam's taking over. Has there been incidents? Of course. But the over-projected fear that's being pushed to stare at a particular group, if you don't think that's happening right now...
to stare at a particular group.
I'm sorry, can you get your outfit on? Can we speak?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Jim. See, when a group, you're right, just because you never met a terrorist, but it doesn't mean they don't exist.
Yeah, I know that, Batman. Mr. V for Vendetta. I'm going to be important. Why don't you be courageous and show your face? Because that's what most men are trying to do right now. That's what most humans are trying to do right now.
We're trying to show our face? Gee, I've been doing it without any difficulty for quite some time.
We're having a conversation by showing you where I'm coming from, by showing you my face. We're not putting on our little Halloween outfit. Let me put on my Halloween outfit and...
All right. Obviously, he's not going to get around to whether the guy had a point or not. And the reality is that he can't even pass up on this opportunity to create a fictional other, a fictional they. Right? That's what this is about. The they, them, the Pentaverate, the Illuminati. They're the ones who make us hate each other by showing us news clips that control us. And it's best if you didn't watch the news. And in what? Tune in to the morning brew?
important. Let me show you what he's doing right here. It's called propaganda. Propaganda is selling lies.
Yeah, but I mean, anybody can sell lies. There's propaganda has techniques in how it sells lies.
I'm not selling you a lie.
Sure you are. You think that the news media and somebody else is trying to specifically not only perpetuate this stereotype of Muslims, but that they're doing it specifically so that they can sneak something in the other side. That's the storyline. And you're not being specific about what that thing is. So you're perpetuating kind of a blanket fearscape as a distraction from your lack of interest or in actually doing any study on the topics you talk about.
Is Mr. Batman.
It's actually how you do it. Not that
V
you do
for
it.
Vendetta. Maybe this guy, maybe this banana. Did you lose your job? Did you lose your job? You can come on here weekly. I think it'd be hilarious. You don't have to be hiding in your closet with your Batman outfit. You can come in here whatever you want. You know, does your mom not let you play around? Did you miss a couple Halloweens? Do you not feel important? Or are you intimidated?
Or what's his fucking point? And if you can't refute it, don't bring it up. Yeah, when did Jimmy Dore get a sex change? Ouch. All right, I'm over time, aren't I? Shit. All right, let's end on the big fear, the big danger. Oh my God, it might happen, ladies and gentlemen. The torment, the evil. It could happen, and only Jesse Waters, if you put him in cheap soap and put him in the dryer. Shrunken Jesse Waters can save us from the possibility of a president AOC. Stop this from happening. The wake-up call that could save the Republican majority. First of all, why? Why would you want to save the Republican majority? What have they given you except fealty to Donald Trump in a way that you find horrifying, apparently? Why would you want to protect the Republican majority considering how you feel about them most of the time? Here we go.
Of a Democrat victory, even a blue wave or tsunami in the midterms, that's kind of real. It should scare the crap out of most Americans.
No, it actually shouldn't. The fact that a tsunami is possible means that it involves most Americans. See how that works? See, you can't have a tsunami, you can't have a big blue wave, and most of Americans are against it. It should scare the shit out of most Republicans, but not all.
In Alaska to Ohio, Michigan, Iowa, there are way too many races that are way too close right now.
Why? I thought we're the hottest country in the world and we're just the new hotness. Apparently, MBS told Trump this, and also 3 other leaders who may have said the exact same thing at the exact same time in different locations. Someone's asking, is Ben still relevant? He's got 7 million subscribers on his channel. This video is 5 hours old and it's got 19,966 views. They counted ours too, I guess, me watching it.
Like Spain's did yesterday. Electing Democrats, that is the worst thing you could do. Even the supposedly moderate Democrats these days are preaching about abolishing ICE, or at least making way for those who do. We're going to look at all the upcoming races and run through Republican chances in 2028. Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
So here's the thing.
The thing. Shouldn't that be the name of this segment? Here's the thing. And now it's time for the thing. See, the thing is...
The left in the United States is...
What is the thing? And why do I think it's clobbering time?
Same feelings as Pedro Sanchez. They are fine with both mass migration and mass Muslim migration.
Pedro Sanchez actually arranged for all of those Moroccans to be sent back to their country. So maybe don't make a video between the FA and the FO and pretend the other part didn't happen.
They're fine with both radical Islam and mass migration.
So it said, Hal, are those real 7 million viewers? That's adorable, Paul Thanos. Absolutely not. No. All these channels are jacked up with Russian bots and bot views and bot subscribers.
Remember, under Joe Biden, images like the ones that we are seeing in Ceuta Those were not rare. Here was Bill Malugan reporting from the Rio Grande just 5 years ago in September.
We are live on the Rio Grande right now on a boat. We want to show you what we're looking at. Take a look at this. This is Ciudad Acuña. This is Mexico right here, where we have been watching a steady stream of hundreds of migrants crossing the Rio Grande.
Yeah, the big difference, though. A lot of men, women, and children in these reports at the same time. Also, those people would get rejected and come right back again.
Illegally, Brian will pan left here. They're crossing the Rio Grande illegally over a dam, and they are slowly walking over to the United States, where there is a massive crowd of these migrants who have gathered. They go over there, they bathe in the river, they change their clothes, and then they walk down a dirt path towards where that international bridge is. Some Border Patrol agents and Texas state troopers just pulled up.
Yeah, kind of different than 50,000 people stampeding across and swimming into another country. And, I guess what was the difference? It took those people maybe I don't know, 3 hours to be turned back to Mexico instead of 6 in Morocco.
And Joe Biden did this not that long ago. And
Joe Biden didn't do this. This was a COVID stampede and paid caravans by the Russians.
And of course, today's DSA-led Democratic Party openly would like to get rid of our nation's border enforcement agencies. Francesca Hung, who's likely to be the Wisconsin Democratic gubernatorial nominee, she says that ICE needs to be abolished.
You also have called for abolishing the police and ICE. That's a piece of what that political ideology is about, too, is it not?
Well, ICE is a rogue agency and an enforcer of fascism, and I believe that it is an agency that indeed needs to be abolished. And I'm going to be a governor that is most serious about being...
I got to tell you, Francesca Hung comes across as kind of loony. Beyond it isn't even a policy thing. Like, I've seen like 4 interviews with her in the last 2 days. She seems a bit spun. And also, again, the abolishing of ICE or returning it to under the Justice Department where it belongs, is where the debate lies. And also, as a governor of a state like Wisconsin, it's irrelevant. It is, seriously.
About public safety, where we actually invest in our communities and we are tough on the causes in order to be tough on crime, preventing guns from being off the street, taking guns off the street, making sure we're investing in victim services, and that people who are incarcerated or work in the prisons are able to work and live with dignity.
People that are incarcerated or work in the prisons can live and work with decency. And I'm assuming she means prisoners that work, not the prison staff.
Okay, so, again, this is what the DSA wants. This is what they want. They want Spain. That's what they want. There's a Florida DSA candidate named...
Well, Spain turned all those people away. What are you talking about?
Oliver Larkin. Unlikely to win, but, he's going to...
Again. Talk to me when they win, shithead.
Try. He says that illegal immigration should be treated like a parking ticket.
ICE is lawless in and of itself.
We run these roles every day of ICE bringing these people out of the country who have committed heinous crimes. Last week, there were a number of rapes of a baby, of a 6-year-old. Would these types of things be worthy of protest?
We need to keep our communities safe, and we need to hold people accountable when they have harmed others, when they have broken the law. But let's be clear, immigration is a civil violation, not a criminal violation. So we need to stop treating the equivalent of a parking ticket like people are breaking the law and need a militarized police force breaking down their doors.
Again, this is where the DS...
Yeah, I don't find a problem with that expression. This is the zero tolerance policy of Stephen Miller was that everybody is a criminal alien because crossing the border illegally means you're breaking the law. Therefore, and it's it's as bad as any crime you could commit once you came in. So the assumption is if you broke into the country, you're like it's like B&E while somebody's home. It is the right of the homeowner to assume that you meant to not just rob the place, but perhaps assault them or assault their family or whatever, and therefore drastic measures are required. And the Stephen Miller idea that when people cross the border, they are doing so to commit further, more violent crimes, and the assumption that everybody's a criminal on the same level as somebody that actually does is the issue. So what he said makes total sense. I wouldn't call it a civil infraction, but it's certainly not in line with a felony. You just deport people back to their country if they come in. Like, it's silly.
Talk about in a minute. The Democratic Party has been taken over by the DSA. An entire generation of young people has been indoctrinated into the same sort of belief system as Pedro Sanchez, that basically the West owes it to criminals to let them wander free. There's Nick Shirley asking an NYU student about the release from prison of rapists.
And so I'm not certain what prisons are actually doing for our society. And so...
Would you like to have criminals out in the open?
Well, do I want criminals out in the open? Sure. I'm fine with that because the idea of a criminal is like a little bit funny to me.
Let's just say somebody who has raped a woman.
Totally.
Would you like them to be out in the street?
I think my answer is yes, even though that's a challenging answer to say.
So if you got raped, would you like your rapist to be out in the street?
Well, like, let me finish. Because I have been raped, and they are out in the street. And I'm not sure, like, them going to jail is a solution to, like, whatever's going on inside their heart, or even my own heart that, like, contributed to that experience that I'm having. And I don't want more people to get raped.
Okay, they're just nitpicking.
But I don't know for certain that going into a jail in the United States is going to shift anything inside of their, like, operating system so that they'll make a different choice again.
This is...
Okay, again, it's a country of 340 million people. You're gonna... all you do is wander around just finding somebody that's kind of a lunatic to talk to. Get the fuck out of here. What in the absolute hell?
Patently insane. Well, they're the same left.
Right, and that's the response most people have. And the idea that she's like, you're talking in the context that she might as well be a Democratic or a DSA candidate.
Fine with, but encouraging.
How about this? How about all the maggots that are fine with Trump's rapes, that dismiss the Katie Johnson story, that like come down on E. Jean Carroll or any of the women who've openly accused him, that dismiss his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein? Get the fuck out of here. There are millions of those people. You're gonna find some like hippie chick, on a fucking park bench in New York, and that's indicative of entire party, when you literally could talk to any number of a million maggots and they'd go, just bullshit. I don't know. He said he kicked him out for being a creep after 25 years of friendship.
They're also totally fine with the infusion of Islamic values into American government. Abdul El-Sayed, a terrorist supporter, remains the front runner for the Michigan Senate seat for Democrats. New poll out today shows him up over Haley Stevens. Zohran Mamdani, of course, is a pro-jihadi who leads New York City. There's an actual alleged spokesperson for Al
Is he for jihadis or is he a professional one?
Qaeda running as a Democrat in New Jersey.
I'm more afraid of amateur jihadis,
And the Democrats embrace this stuff wholesale for the same reason that Pedro Sanchez does.
Well, you wouldn't be doing stories about the divisions amongst the Democratic Party if they supported him wholesale, would you?
They like the votes, and they despise the West. Right? And now they're reaping the whirlwind, right? Traditional Democrats are reaping the whirlwind of this stuff because they have bred an entire generation of people who think like this. Here is Chuck Schumer, again, the Senate Minority Leader, being interrupted at his presser by a protester who is a prospective congressional representative in Maryland who is yelling about the Jews, of course.
The people didn't come to hear you.
You should be questioned about your diabolical...
The kids today, you know what I mean? These crazy kids. This dude's standing up, that guy. So, this dude. He looks older than Schumer. Raising an entire generation?
It's amazing that you can show your genocidal face in public, Mr. Senator.
Mr. Senator.
Mr. Senator.
Mr. Senator.
That's Bernie Sanders' less good-looking brother over there yelling at Chuck Schumer. Meanwhile, Senator Mark Kelly, remember, he was supposed to be moderate.
So that guy was Jewish. The guy who was calling, who was criticizing Chuck Schumer for his support for Israel was a Jew. All right. Why is this relevant? Why are any of these people you're showing relevant to the greater conversation?
Here he was talking with Katie Couric about the DSA's takeover of the Democratic Party, and he says, well, they've got a point, of course.
As I said earlier, just people can't afford to have a reasonable standard of living.
So do you think that does that translate into them wanting to burn the house down?
I think it leads to incredible frustration with the status quo, and people want to see change, and they want to throw out the person who's, in office and replace them with anybody.
Yeah. Yes, that's by the way, that's precisely how Trump and the maggots took over the Republican Party.
Now, again, these are Democrats basically picking up the DSA and treating them as though they're a decent part of the conversation.
Where the fuck did that come from? And how is this about I'm sure she was leading into this sort of burn it all down shit from the DSA, but his answer was pretty reasonable. And he was like, they're responding to a reality, and their reaction might be extreme, but it's born out of something true. People often can have a genuine reaction to something that results in a bad action in response. But for fuck's sake,
systemic immunity to any of this. And how radical, of course, is the DSA? I mean, charter members of the DSA are literally moving to China to do propaganda.
To the Chinese?
Zoran Mamdani's video editor is a guy named Eric Hovagin. He moved to China in September 2025 and explained that he, while working for, of course, Hassan Piker, he explains why he did that.
I know what you're thinking. He's blazing China. He's Xi Jinping's #1 foot soldier. And the truth is, I wish. That would be sick as hell. And I also hear what you're saying. Like, Eric, in a couple of months, Comrade Mamdani is going to transform New York City into the socialist caliphate that you've been praying for. Why would you want to leave right now? The answer's simple. I like Zoran, but the United States is heading in a very bad direction very quickly. I actually had to rewrite this entire video because of a certain event that took place while making it. America's a deeply violent nation.
Oh shit. This guy hasn't been in China for very long, has he?
And it's just normal.
And he doesn't speak the language. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. This guy does not speak Chinese.
It's like an everyday existence. And it's weird because even though the big cities aren't actually like the crazy zombie wasteland that the media tries to make them out to be, the country as a whole is like 6 corporations in a trench coat trying to scam you at every turn.
Yeah, that guy moved to China to talk about how wonderful China is and how terrible America is. He's not the only one, by the way. A bunch of DSA members, according to the Times, pledged support to the CCP after a VIP trip. Quote, high-ranking activists for the left-wing group behind Zoran Mamdani's rise have backed a call to support the Chinese Communist Party, whose officials have organized trips and meetings where members were treated like royalty.
Well, that's more than a dozen members. That's one of the things that makes it, I would say, very uncommunist-like. Sounds like a super PAC chucking money around in the form of a country.
Members of the DSA have pledged to support the People's Republic of China and to promote understanding of Chinese socialism.
Or the lack thereof.
So President Trump has responded to all of this, what he is watching over in Ceuta. And he said, quote, it's terrible. Remember that picture? That's going to be us in 3 years if the wrong side gets in. So, as I've been saying, what's happening in Spain could easily happen here. Democrat.
No, it couldn't. First of all, there's no situation where people like from Cuba swim to Guantanamo Bay and therefore are on American soil and now can qualify for citizenship.
I pointed out, largely agree with the general principles of Pedro Sanchez.
You mean the part where they don't want people to drown just because they floated across the fucking ocean on a shitty canoe? And if you turn them around, the boat's going to sink and they're going to die. So they process them over there.
AOC, who agrees with all of it, right? She says that there's a lot of political realignment happening And she urges there to be a political realignment that includes, of course, the Tucker Carlson types as well. Here she was.
I think that there's a lot of political realignment happening in the country, and whether, people like it or not, there actually is a lot of hope that can be generated, among voters of all kinds to actually show us get something meaningful done by people who are most disparate and unlike one another in the House on something that's real.
Okay, again, zero context, but we're meant to assume that she means she's going to partner with, I guess, Tucker Carlson to defund Israel, right? That's what we're going to go with.
Okay, so again, she's looking for that realignment. So understand what's happening here. The DSA...
Or a bunch of fucking maggots have finally realized they were suckered.
Would love to take over the Democratic Party, and they would like to form a horseshoe.
And QAnon would like to take over fucking MAGA.
With the woke right.
Oops.
As well. Hunter Biden is doing this routine. There's a reason Hunter Biden is hanging out with Nick Fuentes, because he's doing the same routine as AOC, just in a dumber way. Here he was on a podcast called Macro Dosing.
I'm not running for anything, so I can say whatever the fuck I want. And here's what I think. I think Chuck Schumer's a piece of shit, and that he my dad over. I think that the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi at the time, also was involved in that. And so I don't have anything nice to say about it.
We're not fans
and you know
of
what?
Nancy.
And I'm supposed to be the guy that says, oh, but you know what? What Nancy Pelosi has contributed to this country and to the Democratic Party, I'm not supposed to, yeah, man. And as it relates to Donald Trump, him, his sons, his daughter, I mean it, all of them, the whole.
Yeah. What? I'm sorry, Ben. I get the out of context clips. I get the nut picking. Finding some lunatic and saying that she stands or speaks for a wing of the Democratic Party or something with no fucking evidence whatsoever that this girl even votes, because votes would be judging people in the first. But how is she able to choose who would be the better candidate by what's in their heart if she wouldn't know, right? That kind of shit. But then you get to this fucking Hunter Biden clip and then totally redeem yourself.
Down to the grandchildren. I hope for the rest of time that I am on this earth, that their names will live in ignominy.
Again, the reason that he is attacking these sort of traditional Democrats is because he's trying to make inroads with the DSA and also with the woke right. Okay, so
the woke right. Who would that be? The people that are now awakening to the fact that Trump is a fucking flim-flam? Honest to God, like the redemption arc of Hunter Biden is so fucking awesome right now. Like you guys know, I always had that dude's back. Like every time they brought up the fucking laptop, I was the first to jump in there and tell everybody there isn't one. And I stand by that to this fucking day. There is a hard drive called laptop that fucking Rudy Giuliani bought in Ukraine for $5 million. And anybody, feel free to at me. And you know how I know that I was right ultimately about this? Because where's Kash Patel in the fucking laptop? Where's fucking Dan Bongholio walking out and waving it to everyone? Look, we found it. Here it is. Why not? Because it didn't fucking exist. It was always a lie. They hacked some shit that was real with him doing drugs and being with hookers that he admitted to in his fucking autobiography. So who gives a shit? An addict who's redeemed himself deserves all the credit in the world for keeping himself clean and taking care of himself and his family. And fuck you. And then this story that they stuck to, that somehow made him permanently scarred while they're running Donald Trump, who's an unrepentant rapist. And Comer. Yeah, boy, did Comer shut the fuck up. Good point, CSL. Like, where the fuck was he? The minute Biden's out of office, what laptop? It's got to be there somewhere, right? It's in an evidence locker. It has to be. What was put into the congressional record? Matt Gaetz put that fucking hard drive into the congressional record. You know what that means? That means it's available to them, and they can do a forensic accounting on it and find out that like the metadata ain't there, that a lot of that shit is a combination of real and fake. They took real emails, added phrases later, recopied it a dozen times so it doesn't have any origination metadata to it. You guys know, and to this fucking day, I would go I would love to be on one of those fucking Jubilee things where they're like me against 20 maggots. And, my first premise, Donald Trump was Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, never kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago, and he wished Ghislaine Maxwell well, not because they had blackmail on him, but because he was a fellow traveler and actually fucking liked the guy. The second one would be, there is no Hunter Biden laptop. There never was a Hunter Biden laptop. Get fucked. Yeah. And I will stand by, and I've been proven right. I have been proven right. After all those years, I have to say, when it first started happening, I was trying to do kind of a call their bluff thing. Because it didn't seem like a real story to me, but I was like, okay, I'm going to need to see this actual fucking hard drive, and I'm going to need to see the metadata from it. That's how you know it, because don't show me a fucking digital file in this day and age. Right? Now, in fucking 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, you're going to tell me you got a file that says something, an email from somebody? No. I'm going to need to see the metadata for it, and I'm going to need to see another version of it that came from some other hard drive, something straight out of the server from the email company that it was going through, whether it was Gmail or something like that, that proves the metadata that it was sent on the day it was, and this was the content of that. They didn't add sentences or take sentences out. Fuck you. It's digital. Why would I trust that? It's idiotic. So, and I stand by that to this day. But at the beginning, I was like, this is reasonable. I have a reasonable request. I'm going to need to see some metadata before I buy any of this shit. And so I was like, I don't think there is no laptop. Feel free to at me. Right out of the gate. And years later, fucking nothing. Nothing. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, me on Jubilee is like the Captain America with his hammer running towards the entire army, right? Like Thanos' entire army. It didn't exist, and so I'm very happy that he is, dealing with his addiction and dealing with his life, because it was obviously, in spite of what went on in his life, his mother dying, his sister dying, him being raised by his dad, and all this stuff, and while his dad was a congressman who was, under attack all the time as well, he became vice president and all this stuff, and tries to get his life back together, especially during a time when his brother had died, and he was, his addiction blew up specifically during that time. And Hunter Biden is so much more of a man than any of these assholes. So good on him. And I'm glad I was an early adopter to call out these assholes. Yeah, what that family's been through, get the fuck out of here. Keep Joe Biden's name out of your fucking mouth. Ben Shapiro, good Lord. You want to talk about divisions amongst the Democratic Party, or who's electable and who's not electable? Yeah, have a sit down with Candace Owens, former Daily Wire employee, and discuss it. Get her in a room. These assholes. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. I went late, but that's okay. Because I started a little bit late. A little bit. Not too bad. A little bit. A little bit. A little bit. All right, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the House Parks Radio program, Mega Worldwide with Johnny Million and our dear friend Philip Ittner. I've got some video that I'm going to play for the radio show tomorrow, so we'll see how the audio on it is, but I wish, we'll see. Fingers crossed, it's okay. Yeah, and then yeah, I have to like bum rush to dismantle my setup and recreate it in a new space in a matter of like 6 hours to have my Monday show. If I don't have a Monday morning show, forgive me. Right? We might have to be careful who we pick as our guests on Monday. People who understand if I have to ditch out if things aren't up and running. Fingers crossed. Anyways, you guys are awesome. Appreciate you. And I will see you later. Take care of yourselves. Hit the like, share the show. Patreon.com/AlSparks. And of course, just be awesome. See you in the morning. I was wound up today. It was good. These are good. Somebody needs to call these assholes out. And that's why I'm here.